Welcome back to the Virgo Channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Know that energy is fluid, so roles can be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates. Also know on this channel and all my channels, I like to look at the shadows. I'd like to look at everything, but we take more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play it as karmic themes. This will allow you to see why you're attracting who you're attracting into your life, what you need to heal in order to change the dynamic of your situation. And you understand, like I said, why you're attracting, who you're attracting, and why everything's playing out the way that it is. Because a lot of times we're connected to someone that we feel unconditional love, but the person's actions aren't in alignment with that or what we perceive unconditional love is. When people are wounded, they tend to have a distorted perception of what love is. People that are wounded tend to think that unconditional love is that the person is supposed to put up with anything and everything, and that they don't have to put any effort in. A lot of times, if they're wounded, why? Because again, that was the environment that they grew up in, or that's who they've been with, they've dated, they've had relationships with people. Not all the time do our wounds happen in childhood. However, the majority of wounds happen in childhood. And then what happens is that we continue to attract the same types of people, and the same types of karmic themes continue to play out. This is what's called a karmic loop. It's the same situation with the same karmic theme, just a different person. Those karmic loops turn into karmic cycles, and those karmic cycles turn into karmic contracts, and those karmic contracts can last a lifetime if we don't heal. So I'm kind of feeling like you're in a connection with somebody that has been in a karmic contract for a really long time. I feel like they're trying to get out. I don't know why I'm feeling this or why I channeled what I just channeled. I never know what spirit wants to talk about, but we're going to look. And again, you resonate with this video, definitely give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and then you'd want to write the word of the video in your comment bar so you have an opportunity to enter into winning a free reading with me. Because if you resonate with this video, well, then you would want to know more information. Because people that have shadows, they create a lot of illusions. They wear masks. They have personas, again, in order to create the perception, but that's not really who they are. So again, their behaviors are going to be very sporadic. They're going to be based on what that person feels. And unfortunately, the person usually is not very emotionally intelligent. So what you'll see is a lot of bad behavior. And again, if you're in connection with someone that continually treats you bad, well, you want to be able to look at the situation from a different perception, because being in connection with someone that continually makes you feel bad makes you then look at yourself as if there's something wrong. When we stay around people that don't treat us well, it's the same thing. It's your environment that creates your reality, because we all create behaviorisms and habits that are in alignment with what we perceive. That's why. So I'm going to jump in now. Now, again, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. By the way, thank you, all my new and old subscribers. Thank you for all your comments and your prayers and your condolences. I mean, really, the outpouring of love is so appreciated, especially because I'm someone that never had family. I come from a lot of family karma, ancestral karma. My father had cancer 9 times. My mother was as mentally sick as my father was physically sick. And because of this, I had a lot of habits and behaviorisms that were out of alignment with my true self, my higher self. So my gift actually comes from integrating a lot of the spiritual blocks that I talk about. Um, Now, I was always the one that was getting victimized. I was never the one that was victimizing. And it's funny, I didn't just live that experience growing up, but then when I married my husband, he was married to someone that had the same exact character as my mother, someone that was really out of balance, and it triggers me. And now, so many years later, I can look at the situation, I can look at that person and see the amount of pain that they're in. Where it used to trigger me, I used to be terrified of that energy. I'm not terrified of it anymore. I call that spiritual disease, when a person has grown away from themselves. And again, what you're going to see within a lot of the connections within the readings is that people are connected to people that have grown away from themselves. So all that they are is like a shell. And what I mean is their ego, and the ego is almost acts like a coating, like a shell of just different personas, a lot of fragmented, um a lot of fragmentation, and that's due to trauma, due to detachment and disassociation. Severe trauma does that, whether it's psychological, emotional, mental, or physical. Understand, it's all about energy, and those are your energies. And when we do readings, again, we're able to psychically, through the heart and mind, really be able to feel whether the information is correct. Well, it's again, you are consciousness. Okay, so the underlining energy is self-righteousness. Oh, I hate this energy. I hate this energy. And so ironically, I feel like you're connected to somebody that, they betrayed you, but they're self-righteous. And that seems to be your karmic theme, that you're like, again, are around a lower vibe energy that didn't treat you well, but they're going to act victimized. They're going to act self-entitled. They're going to act, and this is again when you can tell that a person is spiritually imbalanced. And they're spiritually imbalanced because, someone that acts self-righteous is they are overcompensating for the lack that they feel. However, the ego distorts that, and they really do feel entitled. They're entitled, whether that's you need to talk to me, you need to give me your time, you need to give me your energy, you should be acting a certain way to please me. And that again tends to be your karmic theme. I feel like it's a reoccurring karmic theme that continues to play out within your life that makes you feel as if there's something wrong with you, or has made you feel. And so you have created behaviorisms and habits that are in alignment with that energy. And you've attracted somebody that acts the same exact way. And I guess that's why I was compelled to tell you about my story, Virgo, because I resonate. I resonate with this karmic theme, but I'll resonate with all the karmic themes because, like I said, you know, I grew up in an environment that was very imbalanced. And now that doesn't mean there wasn't love. There was unconditional love, you know, but when you live in an environment that's really imbalanced, you're taught that love is pain. You're taught that love is self-sacrificing. You're taught that love there's expectations, there's ownership, like you're an extension of me. So the energy of, again, self-righteousness is like I own you, and whatever you have is mine too. Like, and that your feelings really don't matter. And that's how this person treated you. And again, like I said, I feel like it's this mirrors how you grew up. So you had trust issues to begin with. Now you don't trust this person. And there's a sense that this person also wanted you to not trust yourself. And so I feel like the energy that once was a very spiritual connection, a very spiritual connection, is ruined because this person held back. They were stubborn, and they were stubborn because again, they have a false sense of entitlement. They perceive again that someone that's a soulmate should, just overgive, be self-sacrifice, be self-sacrificing. So they're a little bit delusional, and I feel as if, like I said, this is just a karmic theme that continues to play out. So that's important information, because in order to break a karmic cycle, you have to do something different. You have to integrate the spiritual lesson. That means ground something different, new habit, a new behaviorism, so you can see yourself differently, so you can manifest something differently. Otherwise, you're going to continue to bring people into your life that are on a lower vibration, a much lower vibration than you, but they're going to perceive that they are on a higher vibration, that they are again self-entitled. And in that, they don't treat you well. Like there's a sense like, I don't really care what you feel. Even though I don't really feel that, I feel like this person just thinks that, again, that it's okay to treat you the way I treated you. You should just look the other way. You should just forget about it. You're making a big deal over it. You're blowing it out of proportion, like that. Like you should just, forgive, because people that love each other, they hurt each other. So you should just, that's again a distorted perception. And so this person, like you said, has a hard time of letting go of the past and the fears associated with it. And I actually believe that this is for both of you. There's mirroring energy here, okay? And there's mirroring energy here where this person continues to sabotage their relationships, and you go into relationships with people that deliberately sabotage their relationship. And the reason why is because it says, I had a hard time of letting go of the past and the fears associated with it. So they manifest in chaos in my relationship. So I believe that your person self-sabotages, but you keep reliving the karmic cycle. So your past is still influencing you, where you're like, oh, this is just like the same karmic theme. Like I can't trust. But trust doesn't come from trusting other people. It comes from having discernment and trusting yourself. So again, growing up in this type of environment, though, where there's emotional and psychological betrayal, and and some physical, depending, but really I feel like it's psychological and emotional. Maybe when you were a child, there was a little bit of physical. Like I said, that continues to play out. And again, gives you a lot of anxiety. And I say that only because it's like, that's, no one should be able to trigger that within inside of you. That's how you know that this is a karmic connection, because you don't feel at ease. When you're in a relationship with someone that you trust, you're like, feel relaxed. You don't. But the truth of the matter is, I feel like this person has a lot of anxiety too. And it's because they go into every single relationship looking for problems. It's a survival mechanism. They don't do it purposely. they do it unconsciously. When you grow up in an environment with someone that you can't trust when you're a child, well, you learn to tap into all of your senses to perceive whether or not you're safe. Because being safe means always being around a parent that's emotionally stable. I feel like you didn't, and this person didn't. And so, being that you didn't grow up in an environment with parents that were emotionally stable, it made you both not emotionally stable. And that's because of your sensitivity. And that happens from childhood when we grow up in survival mode. Growing up in survival mode, a lot of the symptoms mirror ADHD. So I feel like you have some and your person has some. Theirs come out as addictive behavior, though. Addictive behavior because when we don't feel well, then that happens when we're living in survival mode. We get adrenal fatigue. We're exhausted. There's a lack of connection to the physical body, the physical world, and all the physical elements of the physical world. So there's a sense of feeling inadequate. And again, that's why I said this person overcompensates by being self-righteous. This is a second chakra imbalance, by the way, where both parties don't really 100% know who they are. There's no balance. And the balance only happens when we're grounded and when we feel safe within our physical body. We're in the moment, when we're in the now, and when we're at ease. Because then we can be in the creative mind. Otherwise, we're both in the survival mind. And that is what I see here. That your person is in the survival mind. They have a lot of anxiety just because of everything that's happened in their past relationship. They have feelings for you. When they have feelings for you, it triggers their anxiety. Why? Because this person doesn't feel good about themselves. They're overcompensating by, again, acting self-righteous, acting like, again, that we have this connection. So you should be acting different. You should be calling me. You should be making me feel. Even this person feels like, I'm going through a hard time. So you should be calling me. You should be catering to me. And that's because they're very codependent. That's because, again, they create attachment style. They don't feel complete within themselves. And that happened again in childhood. So part of this person, in order for them to be able to feel successful and to feel complete, they have to like be in control of someone. But the problem is that this person has a lot of intimacy issues. So what you see is a lot of paradoxical energy. Like they are codependent on you, but that is so that you act a certain way for them. However, I believe this person is always in search for the next dopamine hit. Now, that could be again like flirting with another person, even if it's, on Instagram. It doesn't even mean like that it's a real relationship, or whether it's to drink too much, to eat too much. There's a lot of addictive behavior. So we see again this overcompensation. That's again the second chakra imbalance. We see an imbalance there. So where this person is in survival mode, and so it doesn't feel good when we're in survival mode for long periods of time. This person is almost manic because they dump so much cortisol and epinephrine into the bloodstream. That's what happens. We get excess hormones in our bloodstream when we're in survival mode for long periods of time. It feels draining. We get tired. We can't stay focused. We get brain fog. So again, to overcompensate, this person does outside things to try to create the balance. However, it's a second chakra imbalance. Like they almost feel like that's their norm. Their norm is to be to 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 do everything to the excessiveness. And so, like you said, when that happens, this person gets emotionally out of balance. They have a lot of anger issues. They have a lot of anger issues. And that is just what happens when we grow up in survival mode again and grow up with a parent that's really out of balance. Is that was this person's world. And then they went into life, and every relationship they form attachments, and their attachments is an ownership. I own you, and you're supposed to act this way, but they're not emotionally intelligent, but then they let their emotions dictate their life with anger. So I feel like it just kept you up in because it's you have these same blocks. It doesn't mean that you act this way. I don't believe that you act this way. But we're going to look and see how these blocks played out within your life. But this is just being in a connection with this person and why. Now, does that mean that that's the way that they feel about you? No, this person, like I said, can feel completely different. They're imbalanced. So, part of being in balance is that your heart and your mind are not on the same page. That if the person's not strong within themselves, then their spirit, their soul isn't grounded. So again, always imbalanced. So it doesn't mean that they don't have feelings, it just means that their feelings are gonna change and depending on what they're thinking, and if they have a block, which this person has several, well, their emotions are going to be a little bit up and down. Like, I love you today, I don't love you tomorrow, I'm angry, I don't want to deal with it. There's a sense of wanting to control again, and that's that second chakra, right? Trying to control, can't go with the flow. No, this person can't go with the flow. They want to dominate, they want to control, but they look for you everywhere. Again, I feel like this person doesn't want to, they can't be emotionally intelligent. They're not. So they're not going to be emotionally vulnerable. They would, I almost feel like this person dies to like bump into you, or for there to be a reason why they have to see you, where they don't have to be vulnerable. They don't have to apologize. They don't have to talk about what they did to or how they acted. They don't have to. I feel like this person reacts a lot. They have a lot of trauma, so there's a lot of automatic behaviors. Like they don't think, they react, but they react to the wounded parts of themselves, those shadows, not from the higher self. Remember, the shadow, this person doesn't believe they can have love because, again, they grew up in an environment with a parent that they couldn't trust. And it played out. I regret lying to you. I wish I could, like, come back into your life. This person was looking back and they're like, I made so many mistakes. Like, I feel like they do reflect back, but they were not willing to for a long time because you have stood away from this person has made themselves like they see the difference without you being in their life. Number one. Number two, there's a sense of them actually reflecting on their past behavior and being like, I could have you in my life if I didn't create so many problems. This person knows that they created a lot of problems. And they also know that they're in balance because I feel like they're very obsessive. part of them believes that you'll be together again with them because again of this, because of this soulmate, because of this connection that they have with you. So, or they hold on to it. There's like a piece of them that I feel like, maybe not all of them, but a piece of them that still holds you in their heart. Obviously, if they're looking to bump into you, if they have regret, I feel like the more time that goes by and the more you stand your ground, the more that this person is like um looking at their behavior, seeing what life was like without you in their life, and so the timing just wasn't right for us. I feel like this person didn't know what they wanted when you met them. They didn't know what they wanted, and I almost feel like they needed to lose you. You and I were too young. I don't really feel like you guys were too young. What I feel is maybe for some, but I feel as if this person, they just didn't know whether or not you were their person. They didn't want to make that decision. And when the timing wasn't right because they weren't ready, I feel like this person wanted to play the field. They met you, they had a connection to you, but they played a lot of games. They played a lot of games, and I feel like it's because they didn't want to be in a monogamous connection. And but the thing is, they compared you to other people. It's time for me to heal now. And that's, I feel like they've been doing healing. And part of them have been doing healing that they're like, I can tell the difference between you and other people. It's like they needed that actual experience, that you value yourself. You walked away from this person. However, I feel like this person knows that they hurt you. I'm starting to understand our connection. Again, like they've tried to walk away from this connection. They tried to destroy this connection. I feel like they were with a lot of different people. They weren't ready to be in a monogamous relationship. It's like they knew that you were somebody special, but it was more like, how did they know whether or not you were going to be the right person after everything that they've gone through within their life, within all the different people that they met and the bad relationships? But they were able to tell the difference between you and other people. And let's see why. How does this person, what was it that made this person see? Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to be with this person or that you should be with this person. For them, they still feel the connection. I just see a lot of like spiritual connection. It's again that you stood your ground. Like there was a sense of, it's who you are. It's like you're like, it's how you hold yourself. It's that there's a sense of like, I feel like they see you as a leader. They see you as like someone safe. They see you like, I feel like this person, again, compared you to a lot of other people and they could never find. And it wasn't your looks. Yes, they were attracted to you, but that was not the selling point. The selling point is the fact that you're working, you're creating yourself, you're seen as someone important. I feel like this person sees you as a teacher. They see you as like someone of authority, that you have a big presence. And in that big presence, they feel safe. It's that you wouldn't have any expectation of them. It's that you're not like, you have your own life and this person likes your life, but they like who you are, like because of your character, really. because I feel like it's not that you didn't have the same wounds that this person has. You have to say, why did you attract this person into your life, though? Because some of you guys will be with this person, and some of you guys won't be with this person. I mean, that's just the way that it goes when you're doing a collective reading. However, it's like the most important thing really isn't whether you're going to be together or not. What's the most important thing is, why did you attract this person into your life? Because regardless of whether you're with this person or you're not, you still need to learn the spiritual lesson. The lesson still needs to be integrated in order to get what you want. And that's that energy. And this person looks at you and they think that they could also have a better life with you because of who you are. And I feel like this person doesn't know when they're gonna come in, but I feel like what they're going to do is, it's almost like one day they're just gonna they're just gonna take action suddenly. There's no, it's gonna be quick action. Um, they don't really know whether they want whether you're going to be with them or not, but the passion, I believe, is what overrides everything. This person almost like comes back into your life. They know that they're going to be with you. They don't know when, and they don't know how, if that makes sense. But what I see is, it's almost like this person is just going to feel like time is running out, and that, you know, yeah, like I feel like it's because it's unpredictable, like when they're coming. But I feel like that for a long time, this person was very indecisive. And so now it's like they want to take the chance, like for a long time, they were not sure what they wanted to do, but they know, again, they want to believe in happily ever after. Like, and I don't, again, this person is a little bit, they're not healed. So being that they're not healed, they're not grounded. They see you as a soulmate. They see you as someone that they're connected to. But I feel like they confuse that, and they confuse what a soul connection is. A soul connection is not someone that puts up with all this shit, first of all. And then a soul connection isn't all about happily ever after, like all the time. Like, I mean, it doesn't mean that you can't have happily ever after, but that things are all like rainbows and unicorns and magic, you know what I mean? Like, that's what this is. This is uh like romantic ending. Like, it's where this person like tends to, it's a form of escapism. It's that part of how we know who a person is that we give it time. And this person has not given this connection any time. So it's not that they don't have that desire. They do. But emotionally, they haven't nurtured the connection. And so they keep like imagining that this connection is something that it's not. Like, it's not possible for a relationship to just be all unicorns and rainbows. Okay, like, it's just not possible. But especially if this person has not treated you well, and now just because they have this realization, and now they're coming in and they see you to be that perfect teacher, that master per se, right? Someone that could help them, can fix them, and then you're going to live happily ever after. That's again the second chakra imbalance, that this person has bad relationships because of that. So like that they're not balanced. They're not balanced in their like how they view things. So we always want to see why you attracted this person into your life and what the person in the story is going to do, and any spiritual wisdom. All right, we're gonna pull 6 cards, 6 inner child wound cards, because you're a mirror of who and what comes into your life. And I said I saw a lot of mirroring energy in this. Rebellious. Well, I took 2, but I'm going to take them anyway. Space and nurturance. Hope. Organized chaos. Just one more because, and love. Well, I believe again that you grew up in an environment that you didn't feel safe in, emotionally, psychologically safe in, because again, parent was angry. And so when you grow up in survival mode, a lot of times what happens is that you develop things that look like ADHD. And I feel like it's like your mind like had a hard time like learning, or had a hard time like you were in environments that you were in an environment that made you not feel safe, and as a child you got overstimulated, and when you get overstimulated, like you brain goes into survival mode, right? Again, you can't run away when you're a kid, you can't fight back when you're a kid, you kind of have to just sit there and take it. So I'm kind of feeling like you got stuck in the freeze, and getting stuck in that frozen, again, it looks like ADHD. Now I don't know whether it is ADHD, I don't know whether or not it's just you had a hard time concentrating, you had a hard time learning, whether you had a hard time adjusting, maybe sensitivity due to the environment. There was something, a lot of anxiety due to the environment, just made you not be able to stay focused. And I feel as if your parents took it as if you were like rebelling, like you didn't want to do it, like, and where it wasn't like you couldn't do it. It's not like, I mean, you didn't want to do it, it's that you couldn't do it, and that they didn't understand. They didn't understand you. And so there was a lack of love. There was a lack of love and support, and that, yeah, things got done, but it was like chaos, and chaos is you never knew what you were going to get. It's that because you were living with somebody that was a walking time bomb, that it depended on how they viewed what you did. But even though I don't really believe that you were a rebellious child, you were seen as rebellious. It's again that because the parent was looking at you through the perception, their distorted perception due to their wounds, due to again the ancestral karma that was passed down to them that made them the way that they are. So understand, you weren't going out there and creating yourself. You didn't feel safe enough to do that, especially if everything that you did after a while you were seen as like being bad. Like you're being bad. You just want to, and where really that's not what it was. And so in order to get love, you had to, kind of sacrifice yourself. You had, which is just, you gave up on hope. Like you didn't have hope that you were ever going to really have a better life. You just, every day, whatever that parent told you that you were going to live, that's what you lived. Whatever they called you, you lived and you walked from that level of consciousness. So again, it's not that you formed behaviorisms like that like this person, like I feel like that you're connected to, that you have that strong ESP soul connection because both of you guys grew up in the same environment. I feel as if you had a very bad self-esteem. I feel like you didn't know your worth. It's again because you didn't get that love and you were seen as bad. And so it's again, it's not that you didn't have family, but it was like chaos. Because it's chaos when you're living with somebody that is spiritually sick. When you're living with someone that's spiritually sick, they're really emotionally out of balance. They get every little thing triggers them, everything's about them, like what you do, how you're seen. It's again to this parent that sees it as that's a reflection of them. So again, that's how this person acted, same exact way, mirrored the same exact behavior, brought you back to that same exact time. So we would need to integrate this. And the way that you integrate is you give yourself the love. And it's not that you're rebellious. It's again, I feel like that energy is powerful energy. It's not putting up with, being treated badly. So this person saw you as rebellious, and I feel like your parents saw you as rebellious. You couldn't stand up for yourself when you lived like at home because you were afraid. Person made you afraid to begin with, never mind you having to fight back. And this person, like I said, has like made you fearful, like made you afraid, but you didn't act like you were afraid. They, understand the sporadic energy. Like you were like, no, I'm not gonna deal with the like any type of chaos. I don't care whether it's like organized. Organized chaos just means that I'm familiar with this. And I shouldn't be familiar with people that treat me badly and associate that with love or assume that I'm bad because I'm going to choose me, because I'm going to again be true to myself. I'm not going to self-sacrifice. And you didn't do that. It's like, again, you displayed hope, where at one time you couldn't have hope because you were a child and you were dependent on other people. So I believe that yes, you both had the same energy because you both grew up in the same way. The only difference is that you went through this situation and you didn't fall prey to the way that you used to be, the way that you used to act. You had discernment. And when you have discernment, well, you change the entire dynamic of the connection and you change the entire dynamic of the connection because this person wouldn't have wanted you if you would have just put up with their shit. It's like they wouldn't have had any respect for you. As twin flames, we are here to ascend and help others to do the same. So again, you believe that this is a twin flame connection. And that in helping maybe other people, that you wind up ascending yourself. That's maybe part of it, but you just know that this is a twin flame connection and that it's not uncommon for your person to be like on a low vibrational energy and then as a runner, right? Because there's a runner and chaser dynamic. And when they're a runner, they're in a low vibe energy. But this person comes back. When they come back, they're raising their energy. And they're raising their energy again because of how you are. I'm going to bring it back to again this card right here. The way that you work, the way that the way that this person sees you, the way that they perceive you as an authoritarian, as a teacher, as someone that is strong, as someone that's stable, as someone that could help them. Now, the irony is that you've gone through the same things that this person has gone through. That's what make you a twin flame. However, you have different gifts and you would have different strengths. And that's the twin flame connection. Learns how to have balance, where neither one of you guys have balance. Balance meaning that you might have created the new awareness, and spirit says, okay, you guys created the new awareness, but you're still not balanced. You have to ground that knowledge. How are you going to ground the knowledge of learning balance, of compassion, forgiveness, all the higher levels of consciousness that will create balance when you're grounded? Well, the spirit says, again, through the twin flame journey. So there's a sense that you're like, I just know I'm supposed to be with this person, even though I kind of know that it's going to be a really hard connection, that is going to be really difficult connection because this person is stubborn. This person like can act like a jerk, we see. But as you again, like this person's like, you're like, as this person's, I guess, surrenders to the spiritual realm, like it begins to understand it, like you'll give this person more. Like there's a sense of like again, the soulmate twin flame connection. This person's very grounded. I feel like you're someone that's very spiritual. Again, you're seen as a master. Now, I do believe you haven't learned how to ground some of your energies for this person to see that you're a master. However, does that mean that you don't need to integrate more things? No, I feel like you do. Because again, as you surrender your 3D expectations, I surrender to our 5D connection. So this is your person that's saying this, saying like, I will surrender to our 5D connection when I see you surrender a little bit your expectations of how you want me to be, because I already feel like I'm not good enough. And so again, what are you learning? You're learning unconditional love. Your person was not raised in an environment that displayed unconditional love, and either were you. So the twin flame connection, the first assignment spirit is saying, the universe is saying, God is saying, is, well, you have to learn what unconditional love is, who I am, the energy of the universe. And that's by integrating it and then transmuting that negative energy, because both of you were brought up in environments that were very imbalanced, and those imbalances create a lot of problems within both of your lives. So you both are not viewing yourselves as your true self. You're viewing yourself as a limited version of yourself. So that's what spirit is saying that it's like, again, the twin flame connection finds balance when one person surrenders to that 5D, right? That 5D connection, which is that spirit, is that right? That 3D, yeah, the 5D connection. So it's what it is it's like they they're gonna say something that was very important, and I hate when that happens. Okay, so I feel like this person um has strengths within the physical realm, and so and you have strengths, like I said, in the spiritual. I forgot what I was going to say. Maybe it'll come back. Flew out of my head. Okay, we are alchemists. We transform fear into love and shadow into light. So it's more, again, twin flamey energy. And again, learning to like transmute that energy. Oh, that's what I was going to say. So again, learning how to, like, when you learn how to survive in a certain environment, and that survival, it could be, again, hiding feelings, um, dealing with a lot of, gaslighting, possibly physical abuse. Like you learn to form like behaviorisms And those behaviorisms need to be integrated, not just that you learn it, but you ground it so that you can ground and transmute that, and which is pretty much just alchemize that negative energy. Because if you grew up in an environment where there was abuse, and then like, and that abuse could be, again, psychological, emotional, it doesn't matter. It's what winds up happening though is over time, that energy really creates blockages within our energy body. So it makes it really difficult for the blood to circulate through our body, and we become sick. So we have to do something with the energy. You can't just get rid of negative energy. You have to transmute it. And that's only through the twin flame connection, is what I was trying to spit out. Then, like, again, the twin flame connection, where again, you are a master, you are someone that is someone spiritual. So, and that's why this person feels like, again, oh, there's gonna be fairy tales, because again, they feel that twin flame connection. They're looking at your life. They again, they're in the fantasy realm, and they're moving more into the spiritual realm. However, they're not grounded, and they're not seeing things correct. That doesn't mean you can't date them, again, because here it says this person wants to date. Um, so if you're not one of them, don't tell me that it's not one of you. Remember, again, then it's not your story. But in this story, this person knows that, again, this is a twin flame, and it's true, because needs to alchemize that negative energy that was created in childhood, because we can't just get rid of negative energy. It needs to be integrated. It needs to be transmuted in order to see a different version of ourselves, in order to really learn and embody the character of unconditional love, which you learn with, again, a twin flame connection, because it's one that's going to really bring out all your wounds. It's really going to trigger you. It's a difficult relationship, like I said, where I feel like, again, you know that this is a difficult relationship. Your person knows that it's a difficult relationship. You both are pretty much like, we're surrendering to the fact that this is a really difficult connection. But we can't live without each other. We love each other. Again, learning what unconditional love is. That's the first, again, almost like the initiation into being a twin flame, like where both parties are there accepting it. So I'm going to leave that there, as far as the storyline. But then when we ask the universe to chime in with a little bit of wisdom for this couple, if this is you, you'll have to let me know. So we'll see. Gratitude. I am aware of the light in my life. I direct my thoughts to the beauty and around me. I give thanks to God for every little thing that brings me joy. Thus, I enlighten my thoughts, riches surround me, and I appreciate all that life brings me. So again, when we have gratitude, we wind up getting more of, again, things that we would be grateful for. So it's always to be in that vibration. Now let me tell you something. It's really difficult when you're in a connection with a soulmate twin flame to always have gratitude, because you're going to get triggered. You're going to, again, the relationship dynamic is made for that. It's made to help you change, into the best version of yourself. It's not that this person's really your other half. It's that they have strengths where you don't, and vice versa. So again, you have to learn. And this person comes in a good looking package, one that, again, you desire to be with. So Spirit says it's a choice to be grateful. Sometimes we really are in a place of lack, and we get triggered. So, but we want to stay in a place of ease. We want to stay in a place with an open heart all the time. because we want to always be able to attract abundance. We don't want to be in a relationship that we're continually getting triggered, and then it's like this relationship, what we see is I can't live with you, but I can't live without you. We don't want to be in that energy. That's where your person is. That's why they're coming back. That's why they don't know when they're coming back. It's almost like when they can't take it anymore, they're going to come back. It's like because their ego just can't like hold them back anymore. But really, Spirit's saying it's again, you want to be in this connection, you have to be grateful for it. And sometimes it's going to be challenging. So just remember that. All right, I'll see you all soon. Bye.